Density in Igcse physics. Definition. Density is defined as the mass per unit volume of a material. It describes how closely packed the particles are in a solid, liquid, or gas key points. Objects made from low-density materials have a low mass for their size, while objects of the same size made from high-density materials have a high mass. Gases are generally less dense than liquids, and liquids are less dense than solids because the particles are more spread out in gases and closer together in solids units. SI unit, kilogram per cubic meter, kgg m3. Other common unit, gram per cubic centimeter, gccm3. Factors affecting density. The density of a substance is defined as its mass per unit volume. Several key factors influence the density of a material. Temperature. As temperature increases, most substances expand, increasing their volume, and thus decreasing their density. Conversely, cooling generally contracts a substance, increasing its density. Pressure. Increasing pressure compresses most materials, reducing their volume and increasing density, especially in gases. Solids and liquids are less compressible, so pressure has a smaller effect on their density. Composition. The type and arrangement of atoms or molecules in a substance affect its mass, and how closely packed the particles are, directly influencing density. Phase. State of matter. Solids typically have higher densities than liquids, which in turn are denser than gases, due to differences in particle arrangement and spacing. Impurities or additives. Adding substances with different densities can increase or decrease the overall density of a mixture or solution. These factors collectively determine the density of a material in a given set of conditions. For example, a bag of feathers, low density, is much lighter than the same-sized bag of metal, high density. And air, gas, is less dense than water, liquid, which is less dense than ice, solid water. How density affects the buoyancy of objects. Buoyancy is the upward force exerted by a fluid on an object placed in it. Whether an object floats or sinks depends directly on the relationship between its density and the density of the fluid. Key principles. If an object's density is less than the fluid's density, it will float. The buoyant force, upward, is greater than the object's weight, downward, so the object rises to the surface. If an object's density is greater than the fluid's density, it will sink. The object's weight exceeds the buoyant force, so it sinks to the bottom. If an object's density is equal to the fluid's density, it will remain suspended. The object neither sinks nor floats, but stays at its current depth. Why this happens. The buoyant force on an object